All right.
No.
Hello and welcome everyone to City of Veridia, where the city of brass and smoke often sells the truth at a price. Tonight we have a player who is leaving. We have two new players that are joining. And we have one of them with us now, and one who will join us shortly. So, with that being said, I am going to begin by introducing the one of the new members of our crew, and that is Muriel. If you'd like to say hello.
Hello.
And Muriel is going to be playing a Druid Shade, I believe.
Yes.
So we will find out about her character in due course. On a note of announcements, the first announcement that I have is, as I've said on the Of Dice and Destiny games, we will no longer be uploading the City of Veridia and the Of Dice and Destiny campaigns to Spotify, because we are finding ourselves short of time and unable to stick to the Spotify schedules, as well as the live streams and the VODs, and making sure that everything is up and running on time until we can get another editor that can work not quite around the clock, but that can work for us every week on a voluntary basis. And that's not going to happen because we do not make any money off this show. It is purely for your own enjoyment. At the moment, at least, anyway. So, with that being said, I would like to start off with a recap. It has been a few weeks since we last played. So, if none of you can remember what happened in the last episode, I will not blame you, but it'll be good to hear your version of what you remember in terms of the events that occurred.
Oh, I, I,
Hmm.
I I actually have a good memory on this one.
Excellent.
So do I.
Then be my guest and do the recap, Flaps.
Okay, so at the start of last campaign, there was a little bit of timey-wimey, wibbly-wobbly stuff where Hexalon was not being noticed by anybody except for one individual in the party, and even Lillian, normally the most stalwart of mental capacities, could not recognize or remember Hexalon. That is when my Aurelian came in and took Hexalon into temporal custody? Question mark. Yes,
Continuance.
that was it. Continuing
Continuance.
custody.
There we
Yes,
go.
for his own safety, and that was for his safety and to stop him from destroying the timeline or destroying the entire clockwork cadaver itself. Then the party had to go to a former building that Aurelian worked at, which might have information as to why the warrant for Hexalon's arrest was a week early. While we were there, Jeff decided to stick his hands like a toddler into a time vortex and nearly got killed doing so, and activated several robots, which we kicked the cogs out of.
Mhm.
And that's all I remember.
Can anyone else remember anything else?
We picked up a purple gem
Yes.
as well. from the clock tower inside of that building.
Yes.
Got information that Hexalon was actively disappearing from everyone's memories, which happened to two of the people in the clockwork, which was Kane and Lilia.
Yes, that's correct.
What else happened? At the end, we had something very unusual happen.
Mm.
For some reason, apparently the clockwork cadaver is known as one of the best. And we had a huge surge of people appear.
That's correct.
Which we, at the end, stopped as things were calming down and we were done with the day.
Indeed, that is absolutely correct. And whilst things had calmed down, you were all given a nice pot of about 20 gold, if I recall, each, which you noted down from the earnings and takings from the Clockwork Cadaver that evening.
Oh, I didn't add 20 gold to my inventory. Do we get 20 gold, did we?
You got
Yeah,
about
we
20
did.
gold each, yes.
I better add that then. Thank you.
So, with that having been said, and the recap now done, if you just bear with me, whilst I invite a certain Craig into the audience.
Craig.
Craig's our best friend.
Craig.
So, tonight we are beginning the journey into the next day. You've all gone home, you've all had a long rest, and it is the morning after. And as it is the morning after, you are all gathered at your usual large, long table in the middle of the Clockwork Cadaver. You see that Lilian's simulacrums have been busy overnight, and they have redecorated and redone the internals of the Clockwork Cadaver. There's a few less tables now, but they're more evenly spaced out to allow for additional room in the place where needed. The bar at the back is still there. It still has its brass bar stools dotted around it. You've still got the selection of oils and alcohols that are there on the bar. You've still got the piano in the corner and the small stage and various other bits and pieces that you're used to, including the stairs down to the cellar, which you haven't visited in a short while, I will admit, but that's neither here nor there. So, as you're all gathered and you're all sitting down, the morning at the Clockwork Cadaver arrives. It's grey and wet, and for whatever reason, you all have this eerie feeling that it's badly timed as well. The city outside the Clockwork Cadaver is already awake. Steam hissing through the street grates, memory lamps burning pale behind the fresh privacy glass that has been put up, and somewhere in the distance, a bell tolling once, then going quiet, as though even the grey mantles are tired of counting the missing. Inside, Lillian has breakfast laid out with the precision of someone who has not slept and refuses to admit it. Coffee, oil de crude, something sweet enough to be suspicious, and something savoury enough to be even worse. And for a moment, the Clockwork Cadaver almost feels normal. Then the front door opens. There is no knock. There is no warning. Just the slow push of the saloon doors and the sound of claws clicking against polished floorboards. The group enters. 3 figures, dark cloaks, all neat, all quiet, and all wearing the kind of polite expression that suggests violence has already been discussed and possibly approved elsewhere. Behind them comes an owlin, tall, immaculate, in a slate grey suit, monastic posture, and one hand folded behind his back, the other holding a small black ledger bound in a red and gold thread. His eyes look around the room, settling on Jeff. Not angrily. Worse. Professionally. Jeff! He says. Soft sense of disappointment, like that of a teacher reading a failed exam paper. As he opens the ledger. I see here you owe me 2,200 gold. He turns another page. Plus the interest. Then another. Plus inconvenience. Then another. And apparently emotional damages. I did try and argue against that one, but the boys felt too strongly about it. He looks up. Everyone, let me formally introduce myself. I am Don John, and I have come to collect.
Can I raise my hand?
You can indeed. What would you like to say as he looks at you?
Dear fellow, I'm sure whatever violence you have towards Jeff is warranted, but I find it very crude that one would interrupt one's breakfast. I'm trying to enjoy a nice cup of tea. Could you go sit in the corner until I've finished at least?
The owlin looks at you with a stare like that of 1,000 daggers. No. I will join you.
No, we don't want your company. There's a table over there.
You don't have a choice, you see. Well, more to the point, he, and he points directly at Jeff, doesn't have a choice. He owes a debt. That debt has now been collected. And Jeff, you're going to have to come with us. As he closes the ledger and stares directly at Jeff, he notices Lillian standing with her hands on her hips splayed out to one side, looking rather impatient with this. The debt is payable in coin, naturally. However, I have been informed repeatedly and against my better judgment that Jeff is, quote-unquote, very difficult to kill, extremely difficult to shame, and almost impossible to keep where he is supposed to be. And he looks around the room. So I'm prepared to accept an alternative arrangement. Service. As he looks back at Jeff. One job, long distance, no cadaver crew, no hiding in bottles, no imp negotiating on your behalf, unless said imp is wearing trousers, and prepared to sign as a guarantor. His feathers ruffle. You come with me, Jeff. You work down the debt, you remain alive, and your friends remain uncollected. And this establishment does not become the site of a financial misunderstanding. Lillian narrows her eyes. And Don John smiles politely.
I'd like to stand up at this point.
Go for it.
You say this place won't be collected. I'd rather not you have to collect your teeth from the floor. Please leave the establishment while we are eating our breakfast.
Of course, of course. You could pay me the full amount now.
Yes, and I could have a gold-plated toilet, but I don't.
I am a very patient bird, but I am not that patient. There are certain... Jeff. To which Jeff at this point stands up, looks over at the rest of you, and merely says, "Well, I do have a debt that I need to pay, and he isn't wrong. Rather than a financial misunderstanding or my friends becoming collateral, I will attend your service that you require. I will leave them in peace." Jeff looks around the room at the rest of you.
Are you sure?
Absolutely. I am not going to be tied down and running away anymore. Well, I might.
Inside check.
Roll an insight check.
Inside check.
Roll the
9.
As far as you can tell, he's trying to be as genuine as he possibly can be.
Oh, this is a new leaf you're turning.
He just gives you a wink.
Kane will ask no more questions because he does not get it.
Mhm. Wilson? Wilson? Where are you? Oh, where is that blasted imp? And he's actively looking around for Wilson. I'll leave you here then.
Oh.
No, we're finding. Please don't leave him here.
Can I assist help finding Wilson?
You
Can
can
I
if
do an
you wish.
Arcana check? Can I do an
can just
Arcana
use
check to
divine
find
sense.
Wilson?
Yes, you can.
Just find him like that.
As you roll your dice, call out what your rolls are.
13.
On a 13 with your Arcana check, it's not hard for you to detect where the magic is coming from. There's an invisible imp hiding in the corner.
Can I nonchalantly walk towards the corner where Wilson is, making it look like I haven't seen him there, and as I approach, reach out and grab him?
Yeah, roll me an athletics check. This will be contested.
Oh god, that's my
Wilson don't want to
worst.
be grabbed.
16.
Oh, you managed to get him all right. There should be a +2 on that, so 8. Yeah, you managed to grab him without a doubt.
Found him.
Get off. Fine. As you bring him to the table, Jeff starts to walk towards the door. But before he can get there, Don John pulls out a cage and opens it up. We need to be absolutely certain that you are not going to run away. Where's your bottle? Reluctantly, you see Jeff hand over his bottle, knowing that the three other individuals that have come in with Don John look like they're about to rough him up if he doesn't heed his words. And he reluctantly places the bottle in this cage. The moment he does, you see what looks like purple bolts of electrical magical current begin to traverse its way around the cage. As the cage door is shut, it then covers the door, and a cover is put over it, whilst this cage is then carried. After you, Jeff. Jeff looks back at you all. Well then, boys, looks like I'm off to commit financial responsibility. By the way, no one touched my chair or my whiskey. Wilson, well, you're coming with me, so I need a lawyer for this. Yeah, and
Need a lawyer.
just keep my chair warm. I'll be back. And as he starts walking out, Lillian looks over and says, "Think you'll need this, dear," and pulls an unopened bottle of whiskey from the shelf and throws it towards Jeff. Jeff, nonchalantly, as he does, reaches back, catches it, and just bites out the cork, spits it on the floor, and starts taking a drink as he walks out the Clockwork Cadaver.
What a guy.
Yup.
I'll be back!
I'm going to reach over and touch Jeff's chair.
It blows up.
Couple of minutes pass by. And as these few minutes pass by, you're all sort of sitting there, possibly pondering on what discussion to have now.
I'm sipping my tea and reading the paper upside down.
And yep.
Oh no, keep going first.
Okay. And just as soon as Jeff is gone, maybe a minute, 2 minutes later, after the doors have swung shut behind Jeff, Don John, and the collectors, you're all hearing the sound of rain outside. Then something small happens. A green shoot pushing up between the floorboards near the bar. Lillian looks down and stares at it. Oh no, 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 no. Another shoot curls around the base of the brass footrail. Oh no, absolutely not. And a little plant blooms. A white flower opens in the middle of the Clockwork Cadaver, seemingly untouched by smoke, soot, oil, or scents. The air changes. Not exactly cleaner, older. There is a distinct smell of wet bark and crushed leaves that starts to fill the air. Rain like that on soil that has never known cobblestone before. And then you hear it, a voice from the doorway. Do you know? I have always found it terribly rude when cities pretend that they were here first. He's there, Roland, as though he's always been there, smiling, perfectly at ease, and almost entirely unwelcome. And beside him stands another lady. And where Roland looks like someone who made an entrance, this woman next to him looks like someone who has heard the room before she entered it. The flowers bend towards her, and Roland gestures lightly. This is Maeve. Maybe I came over a bit too strong with that scent, as the pollen from the flower spreads through the room. But this is Maeve. His smile sharpens. She hears things in Veridia and has spent centuries. She hears things in Veridia that Veridia has spent centuries teaching itself not to hear. Maeve, as you step into the clockwork cadaver, the city is feeling wrong beneath your feet. Not dead, not alive, but like it's being held down. But with that in mind, what do the party see as they look at you?
When they look upon Maeve, the first thing that they notice is that she doesn't seem to belong to the city, though she has lived in Veridia her entire life. There is nothing of brass, soot, or anything about her. Long waves of her deep blue hair frame her face with her dusted freckles, soft, blue vine-like markings of wind across her skin of moonlight roots. She carries herself with a quiet confidence born not of pride, but of belonging. Her pale blue-green eyes rarely linger on people first, but instead they drift towards the tiny flower pushing through the floorboards. A warm smile spreads across her face, one of genuine relief rather than surprise. I was hoping someone else could hear you. She crosses the room with unhurried steps, kneeling beside the fragile bloom. Her fingertips brush the wood beside it, never the flower itself, as though acknowledging an old friend. It must be lonely, being here, trying to grow where no one thinks life should. For a long moment, she simply remains there, her expression peaceful. Then she looks up, her gaze drifts across the faces in the room, not judging, not searching, simply seeing. Hi, I'm Maeve. I've lived in Veridia my whole life, though the Fae would probably argue that. She rises to her feet, brushing the dust from her skirts. I suppose they're right. The forest has always felt more like home. Her eyes wander briefly towards the window, where the rain taps gently against the glass. So has the darkness. People are always afraid of the dark, but every seed begins there. I don't believe Veridia is dying. She places a hand lightly against the nearest wooden beam. I think I think it's dreaming. And dreams are strange things. They can become so beautiful, so blooming, so wondrous, or they can become nightmares.
Lillian
And then
looks
she
up.
looks back at the party.
Go on.
Damn.
And then she looks back at the party and smiles.
Lillian looks up at you, and with a smile of her own to match yours. If you wish to play with botanics, sorry, it's a little early for me. But if you wish to play with botanics, we have a wonderful cellar that needs a fresh assortment of garden variety herbs, plants, and flowers. And I'm more than willing to offer you that space, as those that were interested in it seem to have departed recently, and it's just sitting unused. But if you're here at the behest of the benefactor, then know that your benefactor needs to hear this. What happens in the clockwork cadaver stays in the clockwork cadaver, and it does not leave these walls without everyone's say-so. But I'm willing to help you with your garden and your dream, if you're willing to accept that it's going to come at a price.
And what
One
price might
that
that be?
that'll be a price that this party here they need to be kept under reins a little. They're too wild to be tamed, but they are too naive to really carry out the plans that they have. But they do follow in their orders dutifully. Not going to deny that one of them. And I would say, as she looks over at the remainder of the party here, I would say that someone of your nature, having been brought in by the benefactor themselves, as she shoots a glance at Roland, is definitely going to aid them and the peaceful endeavours of returning this city to a garden and making a garden of it that would rival anything here in Albion. So that would be your price. Keep them in check. If you
Got a baby
can.
girl.
I can definitely make sure that I make your dreams bloom, possibly even your nightmares. My vines wrap around quite so easily and in through the small cracks.
Oh, good.
Just as the threads of fate can be woven through the gardens, they can be changed to make a garden so beautiful. I guess I'd better introduce myself properly. My name is Liliane de Cruel, and I am the manager of this place. Quite often you might see me. Sometimes you might see my simulacrum. Either way, I just look after and I make sure this place gets its contracts and equipment, the alcohol. I manage the logistics, shall we say, and the smooth running of this joint and the earnings that it takes. This lot just go out and make a name for themselves in the best of the wrong ways possible.
What?
However, I think you'll find that the troublesome one is currently serving a debt, apparently, just moments before your arrival. And the other one Well, let's just say he's fading from time itself and is in continuance custody until the inconsistencies can be resolved. However, as for the rest of this party, well, this here is Kane, as she points towards your character.
Hello.
Would you like to describe yourself?
I would absolutely love to describe myself. Kane is a decently tall, not so heavily armored, but has a good bit of armor on with a white scarf around him. He is, you'd think, a normal person until you see a lot of water, as that is half of his consistency. His hair is water. His eyes are blue. And he has a trident and a longsword on his back.
Maeve is
Well,
gonna tilt her head. Can you bubble? Can you evaporate?
mm, theoretically, probably.
Interesting.
Maybe? Can I?
It's entirely plausible.
I'm going to need to do some tests later on. Yes, that is what his nighttime activities are going to be. He's going to try and boil himself.
I shall bear witness to your experiments, good sir.
Sure, do you even have a place to stay in the city?
I do not, but I'm sure I can find one.
Oh, we
Simply,
have
I can
rooms
also
here,
offer.
darling.
Oh, perfect. I can
And-
offer the help of the elements to, in your scientific experiments.
Do I want to
Insight
watch?
check.
Go ahead.
Do I trust it? Does this person seem trustworthy?
Lillian speaks kind of half to herself, but kind of out loud, as you judge that she's probably being genuine. Lillian simply mutters, "Now that's an experiment I would like to watch."
Big girl.
Would you like to join? Would you like to join in?
Oh, I'm a Prismari mage. I'm sure I can bump up the temperature somewhat.
Might as well
Sure,
make
we
it a
can
threesome
crash
now.
on my pad. Alright, we can crash on my pad tonight and...
Oh, no, 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 no. We'll do it here.
Oh, better.
We have a perfectly good kitchen out the back, and enough pots and pans to contain any leakage.
Can I do another insight check on Lillian?
Yes, you can.
16.
She seems to be genuine in the way that she is describing and speaking about this. She seems to be enjoying it. Watching
Don't know
you
if that's more
squirm.
terrifying than this.
But she turns to the other owling. The owlin, sorry, that's in the room. And the professor.
I'm
Well,
still reading. I'm still reading my newspaper. It's upside down, and I slowly lower it to look at Maeve, and she sees an owlin in a beautifully crisp three-piece suit. He has a gentleman's walking cane leaning against his chair, which is his quarterstaff. He has several different timepieces on the front of his waistcoat, and he just looks at you and goes straight back to reading his paper, which is upside down.
Yes.
What an person.
Sorry?
Oh, she said, what an interesting person.
His name is
Same.
Orlin Voss. He is somewhat attached to this group because of an anomaly, shall we say. Just don't ask him where the time went, would be my advice.
Does he prefer to be called Lenore? You know, he looks like he likes to read upside down. Should I also say his name backwards?
No, you can address me as Professor or Aurelian.
Please tell me his head's upside down. Please, can I look at the head, please? It's bothering me.
No, his head's the right way up.
Interesting. I'll consider it.
Lillian then turns and looks at Severin. Probably the most sensible of our group and the most easiest to get along with. However, I would watch him in the shadows. Severin.
Severin would be sitting at a table, essentially keeping to himself most of the point, drinking a bit of tea. He has jet black hair, pale blue skin, piercing green eyes, and slightly pointed ears that look like it could hint at Elven lineage, but due to information of or any questions asked to him, he has no full clue. Along the side of his head are branching from behind him are a set of horns that sprouted forward along the side of his head and then arched upward. On just under his chin down to his neck where his shirt that's buttoned up is branching black vine like veins that disappear underneath a charcoal gray vest, and along you'll see his sleeves of his white shirt rolled up, exposing a solid pitch black arm that goes all the way down to his fingertips, and which is the left one, and then the right one it only has from the tips of his fingers up to the middle of his forearm. That is the same way, with almost kind of creeping vines going upward. As he's being spoken to from or mentioned from Leona, he's mid sipping of his tea, and as he puts it down, he'll look to her and go, "Ah, it's a pleasure. Yes, name's Severin. As for, she is somewhat correct. I am more reasonably nice and tolerable than the others. And as for the feather over there, I wouldn't really worry about too calling him Professor. I've just started calling him Bird Brain. He seems to answer to it.
I'm just going to put my paper down and glare at Severin.
Oh no.
Okay,
Now,
sir.
now.
A stare as only an owl can do.
Oh God.
You keep it up, and I'll pluck those feathers off you and throw you into the oven.
I'd like to see you try, dear fellow.
An owl meat cake.
I'll turn you into
No,
a turducken.
we need the professor, so how about you don't turn him into some chicken nuggets?
Well, I think need is a rather strong word. I would rather say he is useful.
We're stuck with them for now.
Severin, you look like your parents had you for tax purposes.
Kane says, pissing himself laughing at that.
Joke's on you. I don't know my
Lillian,
parents.
Lillian smirks and chuckles, but tries to hide it. But
Joke's
it's
on you. I don't
noticeable.
even know my parents.
That's true. They sold you too early.
No, I assume they died.
So as you can
Wow,
see, this is the party that
We're all friends.
your vines might need to control at some point. I do hope you don't mind tying a few people up when necessary.
Oh, that would be more than pleasurable. Although, I cannot say that chaos isn't in the material for the future, whether by myself or by them.
Well, during your bouts of chaos, and she begins to weave her arms in a circular pattern, almost as though she's creating an orb between the palms of her hand, rotating them around it to shape it. And as she does so, she eventually you see it forming from or being pulled out from what appears to be a small pocket dimension of space. And it's a dark, glowing purple crystal. If you come across any of these, do let me know.
What
And
are they for?
she holds up the time crystal that fell out of the clock from the previous mission that you lot went on. So, Aurelian, this probably piques your interest.
Yes, I'm walking over to the bar, and I'm standing as close to the bar and Lillian as possible. And I've taken out a small pair of spectacles, and I'm studying the time crystal in her hand. Well, that is very fascinating.
Hmm. Indeed, this one seems to be able to create a small pocket dimension. And she squishes her hands together in the same orb format, and the crystal disappears once more. Still yet to find
Is
a
the,
use for it, but I'm
this pocket
sure.
dimension, is it attached to you?
The pocket dimension is for now, yes. But at a later stage, I might offer it over to you to place in certain machinery so that we
Yes,
can right the wrongs of this town.
there is certainly a lot of wrongs at the moment.
Indeed, isn't continuance one of those things that you've been searching for all these years?
Yes, and the answer to the black event.
Precisely. Let me keep hold of this for a while longer, and then when the time is right, I'll let you be the one to place it into the machine so that we
Well,
can bring about this garden.
well,
In,
do be careful. Messing with time is very dangerous.
we're not messing with it, we're merely correcting it.
And Aurelian's gonna go back to his spot, pour himself a fresh cup of tea. And he's just going to sit there drinking it slowly.
During this time, Roland has walked over to the table where you placed down the newspaper and rotated it 180 degrees. And he's just sitting down at the table. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I do hope you get along quite nicely with my dearest friend here, Maeve. She's been handpicked by the Archfey benefactor to accompany you, just to make sure that the City of Truth finally sees the truth, and that the garden can bloom once again. By the way, that noble benefactor, well, he didn't like the fact that the party was becoming balanced in the favour of the Archfey, so a little bit later there'll be another member joining. Another Warforged. Seems like there's an affiliation of Warforged to this crew.
Oh, we're very likable.
Oh, some of us.
I can make you pretty with flowers and buds that sprout from you.
Sure, go on.
You hear Roland laughing. Oh, don't use your magic so rashly. Here. And he clicks his fingers. And as he does so, there is the smell of cherry blossoms in the air. As it fills the air, it is almost so pungent that it's the only thing that you can smell. But you also notice it wrapping around the water genassi's arms and legs are these vines that brought from your own that you brought in, beginning to rise and wrap around the water genassi. I need you to make me a strength athletics saving throw, please.
Strength saving throw?
Strength saving or athletics if you're proficient.
I am proficient in athletics, so I will choose athletics every day of the week. 19.
As these vines wrap around you, you have a chance to break free of them. Do you?
Do they seem like they're going to hurt? Or be bad?
They certainly seem like the thorns have been blunted. But there's nothing there to say that they couldn't regrow quickly.
So I will toughen it out. I'll be fine.
Well,
I hope.
Dearest Maeve, do me proud. Finish them. You see these rose vines just wrapped completely around him on one side, and these cherry blossom, these vines that look like they're ready to sprout cherry blossom flowers on the other side. What are you doing?
She's gonna put her hand on Roland just gently. As much as I would like to continue on with this site, as you know that I do love myself some plants, I'm not sure whether or not I want to push my newfound acquaintances, possibly friends. I want to see how things go further, and by putting an ill intention forward now might hinder that come later.
Oh, don't be so shy. He and the one that was just taken from here, they got sent to the bottom of an ocean. Just for a laugh, they can take it. Can't you?
You see the plants are just getting hydrated.
Yep,
They're
pretty
very
much.
hydrated right now. Yeah, I'm like a walking plantry.
Besides, they look like they're just about ready to bloom.
Can I use the druidcraft to make them bloom?
Yes, you can.
I will do that then. Just the flowers, not the thorns.
As the flowers begin to bloom, you see on his left side, just now blooming with cherry blossoms, beautiful bright pink and white blossoming flowers like that of the cherry trees and what have you in Japan, and this strong floral scent that comes off of it as they bloom. And on the other side, you see roses, pink, red, blue, all different colours, just suddenly spring up and blossom in. It's absolutely gorgeous, and they are extremely brightly coloured as you do so, because of the additional hydration that these plants are getting from the water genasi himself. Can you make me a constitution saving throw, though, Kane?
Hey, sure, I can do that. Oh, I'm not at the level yet where I get my bonus to it, but that's still a 19.
You can maintain your liquidity, shall we say, with ease, as it sucks up more and more and more from you. It's natural, and you can manage it. And just as suddenly as they blossom, they then begin to wilt and wither as the petals fall off and the natural cycle of life completes and the vines fall away.
Oh, that would have been a great design choice.
Flower power.
Yeah, that would have been a great design choice.
I was going to pluck one of the roses and put it in my lapel, but if they're going to die, there's no point.
I was going to keep it on my left arm.
As you are saying this, Roland from reaches forward from behind your ear, Aurelian, and he plucks a flower and hands it to you. Did you want red or blue?
Red, please.
And he hands you the red rose.
Oh, lovely. I tuck it into my lapel.
So, seems like you lot have accepted the job then at the Hordenhorn Tavern. Am I correct?
You mean that thing? Probably. I don't think we've had the chance to talk about that yet after the last few days have been a little bit hectic.
He leans on his elbows onto the table, cups his hands underneath his chin, looks up at you. Chaos is my middle name. Oh, I do love to hear your stories, but I prefer to watch them in action. Besides, I understand that you lot are going to have to not just fix a certain Wormwell engine discreetly, but I also put you all up for another task, which I didn't really want to say too loudly whilst I was there. Do you remember?
I think I remember exactly what you was wanting us to also do.
I don't think I was there for that. I think I was at the bottom of
Procure
the
a
ocean.
certain item from a certain someone.
Yes, that's one way of putting it diplomatically. And no, you were at the bottom of the ocean when this was discussed. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I wasn't
I
there.
wasn't there for this.
You and Jeff were having your little boys' time in the bottom of an ocean.
Sure.
Yes.
That hammerhead check tasted great, by the way, so.
Well,
Sushi.
therein
Yep.
lies your problem. You see, Zivrix, the leader of the Horn and Horn Tavern, and the clan and the faction, shall we say, that is in charge of these underground mining rights in this city, the tunneling contracts and more, have a red ledger book, which is, for want of a better way of putting it, a list of details, dealings, information, bribes, and more. Not of his doing. Oh, no, 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 no. This is what he and his informants have found and written and recorded, seen and witnessed. And if it was in our possession, rather than theirs, we could settle a few scores. One with the Grey Mantles, in order to obtain that certain contract with them, where we would provide them with the ability to always discern the truth as they go about their duty. And he looks up at you, Maeve. I think you know what I'm talking about, don't you?
Yes, something that needs to happen sooner rather than later.
Indeed. And what happens when law enforcement can only ever discern the truth?
Chaos.
Oh, no, 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 no. We have a very effective law enforcement officer within the City of Veridia to enforce the City of Truth's justice in our freshly made garden. Come on, see the bigger picture. Wouldn't it be great to have a law enforcement that could only ever see the truth before their very eyes? Or do you think that would drive them mad?
Be a little bit of both. Maybe they really should. It's been, what, how long now that people have just been ignoring what is beneath and around? So many whispers, so many cries. No one can hear, but yet they could if they choose to.
Lillian pipes up at this moment. Well, if it's the Grey Mantles that you're going after, then may I suggest... One, I really like your idea, by the way. I think that's quite a fitting punishment for the corruption that the Grey Mantles have entailed over the course of the last few years, where they just merely manage the crime and the problems. But might I suggest we have a certain type of glass made of a certain type of crystal which can allow for the Grey Mantles to still see only the truth of what's before them, but the filter in that crystal could stop them from going mad. Although the truth would probably drive them mad anyway, but that would be because they chose, not because it was forced. And I think subtlety in the choice of their madness might be a good suggestion, no?
I would have to agree.
So I can speak to my contacts at the Emberglass Foundry and get a bulk order of these rose-tinted glasses, shall we say, made up as a part of the Grey Mantle's new uniform. I could see this working very well for all of us. Roland just sits back and nods approvingly.
I'm not
Maeve is
interested
gonna
in
churn
any of
it.
your plans. Sorry.
Rude. It's okay.
Rude.
They seem like fun.
I'm rude.
Rude little owl.
Ooh.
Don't mind him. He's a professor.
Did you just
He
ooh
is
me?
like
Ooh.
Oh, but Aurelian, I think you would be very interested in this plan. Shall I tell you why?
Yes, please tell me.
Because you recall that map that you saw that showed the garden from before on the map where
Yes.
there isn't one at the moment? Well,
Yes.
let's just say that that map is the correct path of time, because I have friends in higher places that do remember a garden outside and within the bounds of the City of Veridia at one point, many, many years ago, which vanished after the Black Hour.
Yes. Well, we have to be careful because the walls of reality and time are very thin at the moment. And too much meddling in one direction could break.
Oh, no, 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 no. I wouldn't worry about breaking time or reality at this moment. Personally, I think you should pursue your goal to find out what's happened during the during the Black Hour, and I think you should pursue your goal in writing the time and correcting time as it should be. I did a little digging, and I found this, by the way. And she slips over a piece of paper across the table to you, Aurelian.
Which I pick up.
This, as you begin to read it, actually is the last known recorded diary entry that was protected from the Black Hour and its effects. In fact, you'll find it was written in that very garden.
Well, that is intriguing. He's going to slip that piece of paper into one of his notebooks and put it back inside of his jacket.
Now, does restoring a certain level of truth in the city seem a bit more intriguing?
I suppose, but as long as we don't have to do anything too illegal, I do have a reputation.
Oh, absolutely not. Nothing illegal. Just a little manipulation of certain civil authorities.
Oh, I do
No one
live
minds
to
that.
screw this. Yes, I do live to screw the civil authorities over.
So you're on board then?
I suppose it could be entertaining.
Now do you see why I don't want you blowing up random towers in the middle of the City of Veridia? As he looks
That's so fun,
straight directly at you, Kane.
It sounds so fun, though.
Well, would you rather have these sluice cathedrals all over the town, because I hear that they're going to be building a brand new mega project in the city of Veridia soon. A aqueduct structure that spans the entire length of the city, with the intention of bringing fresh water down from the mountains in the north, all the way into the city of Veridia, into the central sluice cathedral. And then from there, well, what happens to the water there? It becomes controlled, and then they sell it to whoever can keep up with the taxes. And the
As everyone
brides.
drinking the water at the moment. Safer to drink alcohol.
You're not wrong. But you know what will happen to that water if it disappears into the Sluice Cathedral and they get their mega project up and running and working?
What?
Well, the redirection of the water from the mountains coming straight to the city instead of following its natural path. And she looks up at you, Maeve. Will probably assist in the draining of the Silver Lakes that little bit quicker. It will probably assist in the rapid destruction of various forests and wildlife on its way down, as the stream would naturally flow. It would probably assist in the dehydration of various small towns and villages on the route of that river as well. And all for what? So the city of Veridia can keep itself cool and the water rights can simply make a profit charging people for fresh, clean drinking water when it should
You
be
make a
free.
valid. Yeah, you do make a valid argument.
So rather than blowing up random towers, how about, say, in 3 months' time, when this mega project kicks off, you blow up the aqueducts?
I like how you're thinking.
Yeah,
Good.
provision to cause specific damage. Lovely.
Good. So you're on board?
Me? Yeah.
Wonderful. Oh, and Severin, I know you already favour the Archfey, don't you?
You guys are giving me a reason not to.
Good. Well, for you, my dear, I found a rather intriguing endeavour that might pique your interest. There are certain individuals dotted around this city, all of whom claim they own the streets. Little do they know that they are interfering in some rather vital operations. These people that claim they own the streets, well, let's just say they're from an organisation that has a nasty habit of making people disappear. And anyone that disagrees with them are usually the first to disappear. And then maybe 3 or 4 months later, these missing disappearances tend to reappear in coffins at the Palapala. Now,
Um,
I
Are the
believe,
corpses stored correctly?
well, given its recent history, it wouldn't surprise me if these corpses were being used to hide or transport some of that, whatever the hell it was.
Squishy corpses.
Yes. Now, I believe, Severin, that this would pique your interest because you would like to keep the streets safe so that you can actually have a claim on them. Correct? If not for
Roughly.
yourself, but for the people that live there. No?
Pretty much.
Hmm.
Safe for those that are not trying to do anything that would warrant being accosted, but
Now,
very dangerous for those that are there for ill intent.
yes, precisely. Now, just imagine if the Green Mantles were put in a position where they could only see the truth through rose-tinted glasses. They're saved from the madness that would entail from our archfey friends here. If the Grey Mantles could only see the truth of what's going on, don't you think that would very quickly put a stop to that and allow you to make your claim where you need to? Because we can certainly write it into the contract that certain areas are bound to the jurisdiction and judgment of certain individuals as governance, with the correct funding and guidance, obviously, and the Grey Mantle's assistance where required. Does that
Could
sound?
possibly work.
Yeah, thought so. So, is everyone here on board with the plans that we have in store for the City of Veridia?
I suppose.
Of course.
Yeah?
Severin?
Why not?
Wonderful. Then may the Clockwork Cadaver celebrate some wonderful tidings moving forwards. Because when we go out to make a change, we will be doing it for the truth of the city. To make the Archfey his wonderful garden that he wants. A garden in the City of Veridia that is true to the continuance of time and space, where the truth is actually free for once. And there isn't a price for it. Now that's the dream that people come to the City of Veridia for in the first place. Come to Veridia, the city of truth, they say. Well, let's give them the truth. And I am loving the fact that you're all on board. So, I'm going to go to the bar. I'm going to pour us all some drinks. We can relax. And yes, I got some of that brew from the Phalite fermenters. They brought over 2 barrels for us, by the way. I hear the blooming pride is quite the delicacy for the Fae. And she heads off behind the bar and starts pouring into separate glasses this brightly coloured blue liquid, which is definitely alcoholic. And it's blue up to about halfway through, and then it turns from a blue to a translucent shade of emerald green that sits on the top. And then as she finishes pouring this into the glasses, she pulls down the cocktail sticks from the top shelf and pierces several small fruits. 3 of them. Looks like grapes. And grape, pineapple chunk, and something else, possibly orange. One of each onto each cocktail stick and sits it inside the glass. She then brings the glasses over and puts them out in front of each of you. A toast. And she lifts up her glass, and as she does so, she raises her finger, the middle finger, on her right hand, holding the glass in her left, and she flicks it. And as she flicks it, there is a chime that rings out. You can tell from the chime that it is a pure crystal glass that she has poured these drinks into. But it's at the perfect resonance for the drink. And as it chimes, it changes. And you see the drink itself begin to swirl inside. And as it swirls, it becomes misty and cloudy. And you can see the whirlpool beginning to form until the cocktail stick with the fruits on it is standing upright in the middle. And as it stands there with this liquid swirling around it in the glass, it flashes a bright white for a brief moment, and then the entire drink clouds and then stops still. And it is now the same emerald green that was on top is now solid all the way through. She pulls out the fruit, and as she pulls out the fruit, the rest of the drink comes with it, almost like a jelly. She turns it upside down and takes a bite. Cheers.
Is the most confusing way I've heard anyone say, "Do you want a drink?" Wow.
Roland looks
Wow,
up appreciatively at this. Oh dear, you do put on a good performance, and I have not seen this drink in near 150 years. So cheers! And he raises his glass and does the same thing.
And Maeve is going to do the same as well.
It is a gorgeous drink. Think Long Island iced tea with all the trimmings, like just made perfectly, but as a jelly shot.
I'm gonna look back at the other two, like, guys, you seen the shit?
I'm just going to look unimpressed, but I'm not going to take a drink.
I'll take a drink. I'll start trying. I'll start trying it.
It tastes absolutely wonderful. It is the Blooming Pride from the Phalite fermenters.
They were somewhat going to do the same thing as the others, but instead of picking up, he's just going to give it a little tap to activate it, and then when it solidifies, he just pulls it out and eats it.
Yep, fair enough.
This is great. What the hell?
Well, boys
I came into work.
and girls,
That is, it's fake trickery and such. Or more just the Fae. They always make things a little tricky or odd.
oh,
Or extravagant.
I would say performative myself, Roland pipes up.
Oh, they seem
Very
like good
Of
party
course you
people,
would.
though.
Oh, that we are. You really should meet the satyrs if you want a party.
Oh, I'd love to go to the Paywall one of these days.
I'm going to go back to reading my newspaper upside down.
Shall I inform the noble then, the noble benefactor's representative, that they're no longer needed at the Clockwork Cadaver? Would that be a good idea? I think so.
What does everyone think?
We should play both sides of the fence and then screw one of them over.
Excuse you.
Well, let's have a quick team meeting.
That's kind of how I was
Let's-
doing it. Whichever one piqued my interest more, if we don't want to get my support. So,
Fairs.
of course, it would have been the Fae, because they're more interesting than the snooty nobles.
Yeah, that would be so honest. Fair, way more interesting.
Yeah. Anything
Cares
to
about
screw the
some
neighbours
weirdo.
over.
Yeah. What have they done for us? Let's be so honest.
Well, you know why they're called nobles? Because they have no balls.
I think that's the one joke you've actually made in the entirety of that I've known you for the past 2 days. The fact that you said that with such a straight face makes it really funny.
Oh dear.
Well then, we all know the answer. With no balls, then we must go the other way. They're not worthy.
A garden we shall have. Ah, I shall pass the good news over to the benefactor. I'm sure in due time he will make an appearance. But I do have one little bit of fey trickery that I'd like to play myself if we can. Just for my own amusement, nothing else. So we've got this contract, right, to fix the Wormwell engine, yes?
Mm-hmm.
And that's in 7 days. Well, 6 now, but let's just say, what if... Now, hear me out. I think everyone here will absolutely love this idea. What if, during the next few days, we could find another one of these resonant crystals, similar to the one time crystal you found, only with the resonant crystal that it is when we take it to the Wormwell engine to fix. By the way, I've got the blueprints. They're all here. And he puts them out on the table. I didn't forget them. When we take the crystal and place it in there, we can then tune the Wormwell engine somewhat and only release it when it's ready. But at the right time, with the activation of it, we can turn the illusion of the dragon in the Wormwell pit, in the Wormwell, we can turn that illusion into something grand. Once the city has bloomed, so there's a little bit of timing required, but once the city has bloomed into the garden that it will become, we can then activate one final performance and make the dragon sing opera above the city of Veridia.
Yes. I am so in on this.
It's got to be Figaro.
Oh, Figaro! Yes! I love the idea. I love the idea so much. Oh, this will be fun. Now, I've got to disappear and tell the Archfey, our benefactor, the good news. Toodaloo, Maeve, do make sure
Yes.
they behave. And he gives you a wink as he says behave. And then vanishes with a
She'll just
puff
have
of
a
flowers.
cheeky smile on her face as she turns and looks at the group with the smile.
Great, well, welcome. We still have something to discuss. Like, what the hell happened yesterday?
Hmm.
Like, can we talk about that for a second? Because I've been waiting and thinking about it all night.
Oh, by all means, Linian pipes up. I've got a few chores that I need to get on and delivery to collect, so I'm just going to disappear for about 15-20 minutes. But I'll let you have your drinks and discussions. Ciao for now. And she stands up and with purpose walks out of the clockwork cadaver, leaving you there in your own place.
It's an open bar.
Do you want anything to drink? Anyone want a drink?
I'll have a small absinthe, please.
Alright, I'll get you small absinthe. Anyone else need something? I'll be the bartender for the next 15 or so minutes.
Could you make me another drink that I just had, please?
I will try. And he will try.
As you reach for the ingredients of the Blooming Pride, the alcohol and everything else that's required for it, roll me, first of all, a sleight of hand check. This is to see if you can pour the drink properly first.
Good God, don't give her any food poisoning.
Well,
Yeah, preferably.
the same ingredients, if mixed incorrectly, makes the Nightfall's Blessing instead. So,
That don't sound good.
Look,
do you know
guys,
what,
I
that
just
sounds
got here.
even better.
Don't kill me.
That sounds even better.
Yeah, the whole concept is it's space shit. Same
10.
ingredients can make different drinks if poured differently.
yep.
I'm so sad because I know the bartending off by hand. I was a bartender and I got a 10.
On a
I'm
10,
gonna end it.
on a 10, you do manage to pour the drinks correctly. I was looking for a 10 or above. If you'd rolled less than a 10, it would have become a Nightfall's Blessing, which is essentially the same drink as the Blooming Pride. It has the same effect. It still turns to jelly in the same way. The difference is it's a bitter drink instead of a sweet one.
And it gives you chronic diarrhea.
No, it doesn't.
Does it do it? Do you know what? I'll make one
But
for
it
myself.
does make
'cause I
you
wanna try it.
sleepy. It does make you
Oh,
sleepy.
never mind.
It's literally a nightcap.
Yes,
It's essentially a
literally.
nightcap.
So, as you rolled a 10, you succeeded, and you successfully pour the drinks in for the Nightfall's Blessing. You arrange the fruit accordingly on the cocktail stick, and you hand the drink over. It's rough around the edges, but it works perfectly as intended. Sorry, carry on.
Yeah. Just managed to make it.
She's gonna look at it, sniff it, and then take a little sip of it. I'd bet you a 9 out of 10 bartender.
Oh yeah. Sure, I'll take that.
Huh.
Best compliment I've been given in this entire bar.
I think it's the only one
No.
you've been given.
Yeah,
Yeah, no,
the only one.
It's the only one because actually I don't know what happened with this simulacrum and Kane in the kitchen the night before because he was helping her.
hmm The
Well,
simulacrum would
that
have
is
gone for rest.
fair enough. That is the first compliment I've been given in this bar. I feel very unappreciated by the rest of you. Fuck you.
No, we don't appreciate you. That's for sure.
Well, why would I
Sure, if you
compliment
want a
you
drink.
if you haven't made me a drink or anything? So I haven't asked for one. I tend to make my own. Find it's a little easier that way.
Fair
Fair
enough.
enough.
Did you pour the absinthe over a sugar cube?
I've got to light it on fire.
Maybe.
Oh, because you got to ask these questions right. Because pouring absinthe is an art skill.
It is. He's not wrong. So,
Good God.
with that in mind, being the bartender that you are trying to be over the next 15 minutes serving drinks, whilst discussions are being had, you begin to gain a bit of confidence with it over the course of the 15 minutes as drinks keep getting poured. And I want you to roll me a performance check.
Performance, you want normally charisma characters, this will go horribly. I just saw a nat one. I suck at this.
That
Why does the bartender
was
get
fine
a nat
crystal
one?
and an expensive bottle of whiskey
I
you
blow
just
up.
broke.
Kane just blows up.
Lillian's going to kill you.
The
You've trashed her bar.
the bottle of absinthe that you were pouring from
Please.
slips out of your hand and smashes on the floor by your feet.
Top tier absinthe.
Yep.
Be
Why would
grateful
you
there's
do
no
that?
open flames near you.
Well, it's fine because I can just use the controlling spell of shape water.
I'm not sure that will work on alcohol.
I mean, it is water.
It's not, it's ethanol. A completely
Well,
different
true.
compound to water.
You can have water in it.
Oh, no, you can't.
No, you
No,
can't.
you
Not in
can't.
absinthe.
No, you can't. I'm trying to argue my case here. Leave me alone.
If water touches absinthe, it explodes.
Yep.
If it was controlled liquids, then maybe that would be allowed.
That would have been funny though.
There is no water
So
in
now-
absinthe.
now Kane made of water is now also not only is he 50% water, 50% sewer water. Now he's got 1% absinthe in his compound.
There is
Right.
no sewer water in him. Can you stop saying that, please?
I'm 50% dude. And the rest water.
Oh dear.
I am a human being.
You've made a mess. And you know
I'm
what you
cleaning
have
up.
to do? You have to clean it up before Lillian arrives. There's
Don't
a
waste
broom,
it. Start licking it up.
with
I'm not
including the
having it.
glass shards. There's a broom behind the
Yeah, let me-
counter.
Just like eating the glass shards now. I'm gonna sweep it up. And mop the floor behind. Get it to dry before she comes back.
You think maybe
Trevor?
next time not to put so much flair into your pouring of drinks.
Yep.
Severn just lifts up his right hand and swirls his fingers around as he essentially shadows swirl from his fingertips as he essentially just snaps them and then casts prestidigitation to heck them out a little bit.
Yeah. You get it clean in a matter of in about 30 or so seconds after the prestidigitation.
You've still got to explain to Lillian where one of her really expensive bottles of absinthe have disappeared to.
We'll just
just
say
say
that
the
you
bird
drank it.
drank it all.
I'm
Yeah,
just gonna say
there we
you
go.
drank it all. To be honest.
Yeah.
You can't drink a whole bottle of absinthe, you'd die.
Listen,
can.
there's 3 against 1 at this point. I think we're going with
Yeah.
the bird took it.
Yeah.
Oh
I'm just
dear.
gonna be sitting in the corner hallucinating small butterflies around my head.
I mean, you already read the paper upside down. Who will notice?
I don't,
There's a
Fern.
reason why it's called the
Don't
Green
me.
Fairy.
I don't read it upside down. I read it the correct way.
I'm sure you do. That's the alcohol
You.
drinking that you just sucked back.
Yeah. Your
I don't
eyes
hate
upside
me.
down, or
Am I the new Jeff?
yes, yes, you are.
Yep, Jeff left, so now your character's going to get picked on.
Yep.
Oh dear. So, with that in mind, I will ask you now, are you having any discussions before Lillian returns? With drinks on the table finally, what are you discussing?
Well, I actually know nothing about this plan that involves stealing a ledger and or fixing a machine because I wasn't there. Hexalon was, but Aurelian wasn't.
Oh, we have to drop that bombshell on him. Oh, fun. Oh, beautiful. Just
Oh,
go quickly move over to Severance. He does not know about the thing.
yeah, I'm aware. All right.
Yeah.
So, as Roland mentioned, at the Horde and Horn, they're having a issue with, let's say, their dragon. We're tasked
Hmm.
with fixing said dragon, and we have a optional but also recommended side job of acquiring a ledger from the head kobold.
Well, when you say fixing a dragon, does one have to lift the dragon's tail and shove a suppository elbow deep inside of it, or is it a metaphorical dragon?
Yes, and you're the one doing it.
Yeah.
I'd have to trim my talons.
No, it's not
Better
an
start
actual
trimming.
one. So don't spread that news around.
It's
They
at
want to
this
keep the fact of it being
yeah,
real.
it's at this point that you realise, oh, they did actually leave you some blueprints on the table finally. Promised
Oh, did they?
blueprints.
Uh, let's do take a look at these as well since we're here. And you
Oh,
finally have them. We finally have them.
as you
Seven would have
unfurl, yeah, as you unfurl these blueprints, you begin to see the complexities of what is known as the Wormwell engine. The thing that keeps the myth of the City of Veridia alive and well. The thing that assists in demanding nearly 2,000 platinum pieces,
No,
if not
I want to
more,
reiterate.
on a regular,
If
yearly, annual basis as
if
tribute from the city.
if information about this device not being what it's said of being gets out, there's going to be quite a few places and people that's going to scramble to try to take control. This dragon is what's keeping them at bay. If
Mm-hmm.
that goes away, all hell breaks loose, and this whole city is a war zone.
Isn't it already?
It'll be even more of a war zone.
Ah. So we have to fix a machine and steal a ledger at the same time.
Essentially.
Yeah.
Hopefully, if done right, we'll fix the machine and get the ledger afterwards without being caught.
But I can be very stealthy when I need to be.
Okay, so all this information in these files remain here amongst us. Should be good.
All right.
Cool. I'm going to post into the chat the blueprints that you are given. They were posted in the City of Veridia Discord channel, but I'm posting them again in the chat here in Discord for you so that you can see
Please.
what these blueprints are made of.
Okay.
What the
And
Wormwell engine is.
and are we going to handle these gangs that are making people disappear?
Eventually, but at the moment, let's focus on one thing at a time.
Yeah, at the moment we have a whole different can of worms to deal with.
One can't go wrong with a bit of the old ultra violence.
I do support this.
True, but if we focus on multiple things at once, we spread ourselves a bit too thin, and then the proverbial shit will hit the fan.
Is there one from your guys' past adventures that seems a little bit more, not easier to obtain, but more important to obtain first instead of stretching ourselves thin?
We do have a bit of time before having to worrying too much on the sword and horn. Got about, I think, 6 days before it's an issue.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I figure we'll probably hold on to that a little bit, and I guess would be best to have the supposedly other newcomer that's supposed to be here caught up and into the midst before doing that. So don't have to worry about relaying everything over again right off the bat as we're handling it.
Oh, don't worry about this other newcomer, says Lillian as she steps into the bar. Something tells me that they're not going to arrive today.
Hmm.
As she walks
Okay.
into the bar, following behind her are two of her simulacrums, each one carrying one barrel each, whilst she has a small canvas bag filled with various fruits and vegetables. As she comes in and informs her simulacrums to set the kegs down accordingly. So, Oh, I see you've got the plans open. It is such a wonderful little engine. Now, one thing that I will say is after we fix the Wormwell engine, oh, I say we, you fix the Wormwell engine and tune it correctly for Roland's plan, I think we're going to end up with a bit of a situation with the Grey Mantles. So, as we've got the time, might I suggest we focus on them first? Get them to see the truth, as it were, properly, so that they're no longer managing the crime, but instead dealing with the crime. I still have a slush fund available from our benefactors, one of which we are ditching, so that slush fund is effectively halved. But there'll be enough. And here's my plan. We all go to the Grey Mantles headquarters in the centre of the City Council district. And we walk in there and we make them an offer. I say we buy out the corruption for ourselves. Because if they're well paid to the point where their corruption is no longer profitable, they will surely come to the better bit of coin, would they not?
In theory, I suppose.
And with that would allow us to then set new contracts in place with crime actually being handled rather than managed. Yes, we could set new bell codes, for example. Still keep the old ones so people are familiar with them, but just add a couple of extras for crimes that actually need to be dealt with rather than filed away under to deal with. Never. And in doing so, when we write up those contracts, we can actually slip in there a little line about the Grey Mantles never going near this certain section of undertunnels where the Horde and Horn is. Because, as they would happily agree, they wouldn't want to disturb the dragon now, would they? So it's vitally important we keep that myth alive for now.
Add in a little bit that there was word that the dragon might be a little bit more temperamental, and encroaching closer would encourage wrath.
Yes, something along those lines. That way we can keep the Grey Mantles out of our business with the Wormwell engine. At the same time, we can offer them a city of truth, where they can do some honest policing for once. Who's up for a diplomatic sortie to the civil sectors?
I could be diplomatic
Wonderful.
sometimes.
I will be muscle, and that's about it. I am not very diplomatic.
Oh, I'm sure we might need you at some point.
I think all of us will come in handy at some point or another.
Indeed. Indeed. Well, shall we leave it there then? You have the rest of the day free. And by tomorrow morning, I should have a few ideas on how we can make it happen.
Should all else fail, If I have sights on something, it looks like they might have some pull within their halls. I can always just take on their guards and
Yes,
probably make a few little alterations as them.
absolutely.
Okay. Uh, oh yes. Do we need to fill in someone else's name on the
Oh, don't
piece
worry
of
about
paper?
that.
Or okay.
Don't worry about that, honestly. If someone else does want to fill it in, though, it would make the document more complete.
I can't sign in for another business. The last one went terribly badly for me.
Oh, you wouldn't actually have to run the business. And Jeff's gone. So technically, there's actually two names that we need to put on the deeds of this property. Oh, Maeve, darling,
Yes.
how would you like to own a slice of Veridia? And I
I do
need
what I want with it if I own it.
not entirely. We still need to make it attractive for patrons. But in the
I can work with
basement,
that.
you can have that as your own garden, however you choose. How's that?
Then I shall kneel to you in acceptance.
Oh, you don't need to kneel to me, darling. This is a city based on contracts. And she pulls out one single sheet from an entire stack of documents and paperwork. You just need to put your name on the dotted line. And the deed is partially yours. The only other name you see on there at this time is Lillian's.
Exactly, does this document say?
Oh, these, I've read it before. Quite in depth, one of them, Severin, if I recall. But it's perfectly legitimate. No
It's
dodgy
just a
dealings.
simple, yeah, just a simple ownership ledger or contract stating that
You own
when
this
by putting
property.
your name down, you get a hold of the key to the door.
And she holds up the keys that she's acquired back off of Jeff and Hexalon.
I'll look over at Severin and the ifs, ands, or buts that usually come with a contract.
Oh no,
I've looked it over. There's no fake trickery writings within it. I made sure of that.
not on this document. This document was actually done by myself and the noble benefactor. And we had the Archphase benefactor in on the thing, so as we signed it in front of the civil authorities and took the deeds and made it all legitimate, we had those that were trying to get fey trickery being countered by those that were trying to have profit, and we actually ended up with a very, very, very neutral contract for the deeds of these property for this property. We own it
So,
outright, and it is nearly 387 pages of documentation simply stating that we own it outright. There is absolutely nothing that anyone can do to take it away from us, and that every loophole has essentially been covered with property ownership in this city. Not even if we all die will it leave our ownership.
And there also can't be any repercussions from any other of the benefactor should we decide to go with a different one.
Exactly.
Meaning
what What am I?
Noble can't harm us or take it back if we choose the Fae. Fae can't harm us or anything if we choose the Noble.
What do you get out of this? Just to make sure I'm clearing all my bases before I sign. Obviously, I can see what I'm getting. I'm getting a piece of the key of the land. What are you benefiting from, or what is whoever this contract is for is benefiting from? What do I give up from me?
Nothing. The only
Your
thing
soul.
you give up, if giving up is what you would call it, is your, well, you know how they
I'd say
say ownership is a bitch.
Hmm.
It does mean
Yes.
that if there's any emergency repairs or any legal problems that arise for whatever reason, it'll be myself first, you and whoever else signs on the dotted line that would be technically held responsible. However, there are clauses in that within this document that negate the majority of those types of complaints that would come up. The only thing we
Out of your,
can't
sorry.
negate is the only thing we can't negate in this contract is if a death occurs on the premises that is our own fault. Basically, if we cause the problem, we have to admit to it
or make it go away.
or make it go away accordingly, yes.
Mhm.
And from your vast knowledge,
Of which there is
Roland,
much. Yes.
what would he do? Would he sign it, or would he not sign it?
Let's just say Roland is a Fae. He makes deals. He doesn't sign contracts. But you should know that. After all, you're a Fae yourself.
Which is exactly why I have an issue with this contract.
So you don't want
Because
a key.
if Roland, is this a right now and only offer? That if I don't take this right now, that it's gone? Or is this a come by in a little bit of time and possibly sign the contract?
I tell you what, there's one area of this tavern that none of this lot have seen. Follow me.
If
And
you're
she,
above table, if you're referring to her bedroom, then Jeff has seen her bedroom.
no, I'm not referring
Yes,
to,
you know,
I
bedroom.
am not referring to the bedroom. Although that would have been entertaining.
Maeve will follow, but kind of side-eyed the group.
As she leads you upstairs, you
Chicken
see
wow.
upstairs in the clockwork cadaver, you see like the several different rooms that have all been set out and set up for various guests and other people within the crew here. And at the end of the corridor is a ladder that leads up to the roof of the building. And she climbs up the ladder and opens the hatch to what can only be described as the first sign of sunlight you have seen in the city of Veridia for maybe a few days. As you climb up, as she climbs up and climbs out, you notice that the roof of the clockwork cadaver is flat. Completely. And looking around, you can see that Lillian has obviously spent some time up here, where she's got a couple of flower beds that have been laid out to grow various herbs like mint and other sort of little flowers that can go in various different types of drinks. It's not just the basement I offer you space to grow with. I offer you the roof as well.
Why has no one else seen up here?
Because I like to have some private space. But I'm struggling to grow my favourite plants here at the moment because the city smog often rolls over and the soil doesn't like it. And I was wondering if perhaps you would like to join me in my space up here and help me grow a nice garden separate to your own downstairs.
Maeve's gonna take a walk around, and her hand's gonna lightly brush over some of the flowers.
Mm-hmm.
I will sign your contract with you, Lillian, as per what that you are requesting. However, I have my own sorts of contract that I would require as well. As you know, the Fae don't make contracts.
No,
We more so make deals.
let's make a deal then. You sign the deed, we get a legal name for the ownership of this. I will uphold my end of the deal, which I gave to the others as well, when they signed. They will not be responsible, even though their name is on the deed, and even though legally it could be challenged through them. I am more than capable of handling all the legal side of everything here. And I was there personally reading through every single page when it was being drafted by the government, by the civil authorities here. I was painstakingly reading through every word, making sure there was no loophole. I wouldn't sign anything. I'm a drow. I wouldn't sign anything if I didn't know it was safe to do so. But I will hold up my end of the deal, and I will handle the legal side of things should it crop up.
Maeve's going to hold out her hand, but before she allows Lillian to accept it or deny it, hear me out before you accept or deny upon a shake of agreement between you and I.
Yes.
I will sign your contract, and I will adhere to everything that is written within it. However, if anything ill comes of me in that contract, if I am to be seen as something negative upon that contract, or if I am taken down due to that contract or forced to do anything to my demise, it will fall upon you, and you will owe me.
As I stated, any legal repercussions I shall handle for you.
Any repercussions.
Any.
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 Not just legal. Then shake my hand and seal the deal.
She looks at your hand and she reaches out. And she reaches out with an elegance of someone who has been around high nobility for a very long time. And she gently takes your hand and shakes it.
Thank you, Lillian. Do you have a pen with you?
We have, and she pulls out from the petticoat that she's wearing. She pulls out a quill and hands it to you. She sits down with the page in her hand, puts it to one side on a little bench that she's made, and from another pocket, seemingly in her really tight trousers that she's wearing, pulls out an inkwell with ink in it and sets it down. You'll notice this about me. I have plenty of little tricks where I can create small pocket dimensions to hide things in without leaving a single crease on my clothes. It's rather handy.
That might be something I need to learn off of you at some point. Maeve is going to take up the ink bottle and not the quill. And she's going to take a few drops and place it into her hand. And she's going to make a certain symbol across her palm and then place it down upon the contract.
That is certainly unique. But congratulations, as she hands you the key. You now own your very own slice of Veridia. And you have a garden to build. I look forward to it. And she leans in. She leans in to offer you a hug.
Maeve will hug her, and as they hug, a kind of warmth spreads between both of them from her, more so as a deal made kind of
Yes.
ceiling.
She embraces it. She embraces it and you. And just as she's pulling away, she does that very European thing of kissing you on both cheeks before breaking apart.
And quickly, she's going to walk over towards Lillian's flowers, and she's going to use some of her Jude craft to help them bloom better and flourish more.
Lillian smiles. That'll certainly be a good crop of mint. And she picks up the deed where you've signed it, climbs back down the ladder, and heads back downstairs to where the rest of the party is. Well,
Lillian.
Yes.
If I was to sign said contract, would you be able to keep my name out of the paperwork and treat me as a silent partner? I'm not very popular in the civil halls, as it were.
Sarah's gonna put her hand up and go, how about I'll just sign it? I don't think we want Bird Brain having me.
I would be inclined to agree with you, Severin. If Aurelian was to sign this deed, there would be no promise that I could keep you out of it. I may take any legal repercussions for what happens here and have my own army of lawyers to actually fight such a thing, should it ever crop up. But I think having your name, Aurelian, considering you are disliked by the civil authorities, is only going to bring more audits upon the place.
I'm happy to sign as long as you keep me as a silent partner.
With your name on the page, if anything other than legal repercussions occurs, I cannot take that fall for you. And if we have an increase in audits because your name is on a piece of paper, then that will put an end to our operations, our designs, and our plans. So I'm going to politely decline your offer as she puts the piece of paper over towards Severin and hands you the quill. And once again pulls the ink.
Severin's going to look at Aurelian and go, I was already thinking of how for signing it because I figured you seem to be a little secretive on information for yourself. And Kane over there is more muscle than brain.
Hmm.
So
You've not yet earned my trust to know my secrets.
I was
Then
thinking
you
more of
have not
like
yet earned our trust to hand you a key.
unless I could care less about your secrets. Your secrets are your own. But as you're saying, the moment your name gets put onto the paper, if you're not wanting anyone to find it, that's how they're going to find you.
Precisely.
Also, it's just nice to have some of the
You
old crew
can
have it.
still be seen as a silent partner, whether your name is on here or not.
Absolutely.
We all have a hold and stake within these walls.
Besides, I think I've got just the parlour for you to attend to later, Aurelian.
Do tell.
One that will ruffle your feathers in just the right ways. Offering
Oh, dear.
you a pristine, preen and clean service for owlins. You will come out of there manicured talons, wings perfectly trimmed where they need to be, no loose feathers, and your beak will be sharper than you've ever had it before. At least looking sharper. Nicely waxed and polished.
That sounds intriguing.
And she hands Severin the quill.
Severin will reach down into his coat that's slung over his the arm of his chair and pull out his own little quill. I find it's better to use your own in these cases. Dip it into the ink and then do a quick scroll of putting his name, Severin Hollow.
And as you complete the signature, she hands you a key. Puts the deed page back exactly where it should be in the stack of papers. And then puts the papers under the counter where they were and locks the safe that they were in. Now that business has been attended to, should we open the doors and let the patrons in?
Oh yes, I forgot. We still have to pose as an upright tavern. Oh, and May, to answer your question, the only thing that you lose in doing this is a bit of time. Meaning, we do get jobs now and then, as in what we were discussing earlier.
Has Maeve actually come back down yet?
No, she's lost in the forest that she's creating up above.
Wait,
Oh,
Someone's gonna
oh
come
no.
and get her.
no, I could have swear I heard her walking around the club.
You're growing.
Oh,
She's growing a
The
forest
roots
up
are
there.
the roots are gonna start coming down soon.
You're just looking
I can smell
out the
mint.
window to the tree. I'm like, why is there a tree up here?
I can smell mint. Thyme, arugula.
Uh-huh.
That's cinnamon?
Hey, we got free apples here. Hell yeah, brother.
It's like an apple orchard.
Lillian notices some of the roots starting to come down, and she very quickly puts up a protective barrier around the main part of the building. So the roots start to actually form and shape around and within the walls without destroying them. and it becomes a part of the Clockwork Cadaver's walls and the way the Clockwork Cadaver looks. It looks natural, but at the same time, it looks like it's designed with intent.
Oh, this brings in even more customers.
We left the druid unattended with plant life.
Yes.
I'm
Is
sure
there a
it'll be
problem with
fine.
that?
No, but I'm pretty sure our neighbors are probably trying to figure out what in the hell is going on now.
Well, that's their problem.
So,
Before you open the doors, Lillian, I do have one request.
Oh, yes.
Would you be able to get a better tea in? I normally only drink Imperial Veridia, but you seem to have a far less palatable tea on your menu.
Yes, unfortunately, I was only able to get the Royal Veridia variety this month. But I'll do my best to get the Imperial Veridia in for you.
Thank you.
The
Yes,
Royal
I imagine.
Veridia does have a slightly bitter taste to it, doesn't it?
Yes, I think they don't actually use the whole leaves. I think they use the bits that are discarded at the factories.
Maybe we could take a visit and have a look, but one day. But I'd be inclined to agree. This is the bee bin, as it were.
Yes, one does like a nice cup of tea.
Imperial Veridia it shall be, moving forwards. I
Thank
must
you.
say, though, there is one thing that's better than the Imperial Veridia,
Ooh.
but it is quite hard to get a hold of.
Well, I do know a few of the better merchants who sell teas around town. I could have a word with a few of them for you.
Well, I believe that the Salt Knife Dockyard should be getting a shipment in from the Silver Lake cities soon.
it's who I usually get mine from. They're good at getting stuff from all over the world.
Well, we could pay for some, or we could make some disappear.
I was thinking the Silver Lake jasmine teas.
Ooh. Now that has piqued my interest.
Thought so. There should be a shipment coming in the next few days.
I'm more partial to blood orange
See,
and cranberry.
Unfortunately, it's not our shipment, if you catch my drift.
is it for a neighbor?
Unfortunately. A
Oh.
certain noble benefactor, in fact. It's the only tea he drinks.
I believe we may have to go make a visit to these docks and accidentally make a large portion of it not appear. If you catch my meaning.
Would I have? Yeah, would I have favors at the docks since I do help out a lot of people down there?
You would have some favour down at the docks. You'd also be privy to what some of that favour might entail.
I might have some favors down there since I do help out quite frequently. So if you need information from the docks,
Yes, if you could.
Wonderful. Well, Lillian walks up to the doors and turns the sign that says closed and switches it to say open. And just as she steps back towards the bar, the day begins. You hear the bells chime the fourth bell of the morning. 10 a.m. approximately.
Has she noticed a missing absinthe yet?
No. Or if she has, she hasn't let on. You can roll an insight check as she's walking around and looking behind the bar.
Can I join in on this inside check?
You can
Actually, no.
indeed.
I've rolled a lot of insight tonight. I'll be fine. He'll be in sweet belief that he hasn't been caught yet.
On a 14, you can't tell.
Yep. Enjoy. I'm gonna need you. We're getting picked up.
But the day begins, the patrons start walking in, and breakfasts and teas, coffees, and alcohol. Wake nut juice, I should say. Thank you, Killian, for correcting me on that.
I do apologize because I also forgot for a second. Good old wake that juice.
Everything's being served to the patrons, and there is a slow but steady stream coming in. You go about doing various jobs and chores for about half the day, making sure that things are running smoothly, and then Lillian's simulacrums join up around about the first bell of the afternoon. They join in, leaving you all to disappear and do whatever you want for the rest of the afternoon. And that is where we're going to end tonight's session. Thank you, everyone.
Oh,
I hope you all enjoyed that. I hope our viewers enjoyed that session and the introduction of our new character in the game. I'm looking forward to seeing where this will lead. So, for now,
Oh, the druid might crush our tavern with all the plants she's going to grow.
Better go get her.
And then, yeah, you've now got to plan a tea heist.
16 obsidian trees.
not
I mean, if you
obsidian.
ask her nicely, she could probably grow the tea that you want.
If you had enough of
That'll
it to
probably.
be able to grow it, yes. But you'd have to acquire
That'll-
some first.
Yeah, we'll have to misappropriate some of the jasmine tea. Allow Maeve to have a few samples.
That's what I'm
Mhm.
immediately going to do. That's what Kane's going to do immediately. As soon as he has time, he's immediately going to the dogs and ringing up some favors.
So, with that being said, good night from me. I hope everyone else has a good night and have a good day, depending on what part of the world you're in, and listening to this. And I look forward to next week's City of Veridia. Bye.